Well, we've been out and about today and I think we're both feeling pretty tired. How many miles? I'm not sure how many miles we've done, but we think it's about 8 miles on the bike and about 10,000 steps, which for us as a couple of yachties is quite a lot, and we're feeling pretty bushed. It is really nice this evening on the back of the yacht. We've got the sun blazing down. It's actually quite hot for Scotland today. Alan's having trouble cooling off after our bike ride. We're just really tired, really happy, and have spent the afternoon reflecting on all the brilliant times that we've had so far, where our favourite places were. We had some really nice opportunities, I think, in Campbelltown, which will be in episode 6. So if you haven't seen episode 6, you might want to go back and watch episode 6. Bit of a favourite, I think, that particular bike ride and a bit of drone footage that we took. But so far this has been beyond expectation. We're really loving every minute of it. It's really nice recording all of our thoughts and memories. We can't wait to get back and watch them ourselves in the winter when we're not doing this and we miss sailing so much. Well, I was walking along the pontoon to go and see some visitors, some friends that we've met in the marina, and I came across the beautiful clear waters and wanted to show you all these wonderful starfish. I'm really loving the wide variety of sea life that we're getting to see here in Port Bannatyne. I'm just going to have a look at some sea anemones now. Well, we've spent quite a few days in Port Bannatyne now. It's been quite windy weather, sort of 6s and 7s, but the views here are lovely. We were doing this walk round to Rothsay this morning. The sea, even though the wind is blowing, is so calm. We could probably sail, but we're just enjoying exploring. And you can see all the way around the bay into Rothsay. And we're walking into Rothsay this morning. That stormy cloud weather gives you an idea of why we decided we're not going out. As we were walking into Rothsay, we came across this heron fishing on the bank. He is just carefully stalking his prey. They're so difficult to get really well on film. They're so shy. The minute you start to get anywhere near them and get the camera out, they just fly off to a new spot. So I feel really privileged that we've got this bit of footage and you can see him strutting his stuff in the water. I think they're so majestic. I really like the way that they move. Just wonderful to watch. A real joy on our way round into Rothsay Bay. When we get to Rothsay Bay, we decide to head on a venture, and I'll explain that to you in the next clip. Hi everyone, we've gone on a bit of an adventure today. We caught a bus from Rothsay to a place called Kerry Croy, and there's a little harbour wall there, and one of the locals told us if we jumped over the harbour wall we'd be able to walk along the foreshore and make our way around and have some glimpses of Mount Stuart, which is a big house that's currently closed, but this way we'd get to see some views of it. She said lots and lots of people are doing it, so we'd be fine to do it, but we are absolutely amazed by the views that we're getting of this part of the island. We're on this beautiful wooded walk, and behind me you can see right across the estuary to the other side, and there is the most beautiful beach. If we walk along a bit, Alan.
Trying to get the estuary, there we are.
Trying to get you some better shots of the estuary. And then Alan's going to walk along a bit. I'm going to go backwards down the path so you can see some of the path. And then as we come round a bit, you'll see out past some of the trees to the beautiful clear water that's in this sort of bay area that we're in. It's like being in a secret garden, and I feel a very, very bit naughty. Have a look at this. Look over here, look. Come this way. Keep coming. The land's appearing out of the rain. We've headed inland a little, just off the coastal path. And it's like being in a secret garden. There's so much to explore. And the dappled sunlight is just making it look wonderful. Really, really lovely. Unfortunately, it poured with rain when we got to the Mount Stuart House, so there's only these photographs to show you of what it actually looked like, but it was glorious. Feel so lucky to be able to explore these beautifully isolated places. It's just an incredible experience. Absolutely incredible. There's nobody here but us. Here's Alan on the beach and in the Mount Stuart grounds. We're exploring these red rocks and these red rock pools. There's loads of these on the beach. It's just fascinating. Can't understand where the red rock comes from. There's no other red rock around that we've seen while we're cruising around the Scottish Islands. We'll have to look it up and try and find out. Huge pools. And we can see Scotland on the other side. We're being blasted by rain showers quite regularly. You can see the big rain clouds there. So you have to keep dipping in and out with the camera. But it's lovely when the sun comes out.
We're at Mount Stuart House, and we're just walking along the coast path coming down from the house. The house isn't open because of COVID. All the staff have been furloughed. And we've come across this this rather splendid boathouse, which clearly is has seen better days, but still got the original winch at the back here, and it looks like it was a boathouse for a particular vessel that they pulled out. It might have been a lifeboat. I don't know. We'd have to do the research, but. Yeah, really nice old building.
We've just left Port Bannatyne Harbour. Alan's on the helm. We are going round to Holy Loch. In the background you can see the marina that we've just left. You can see all the masts sticking up there. It's been absolutely wonderful in Port Bannatyne. Really enjoyed it. The views never get tired there. And the change in weather just changed the landscape so much. We've explored through that gap in the middle of the island and all the way down the coast. That's Rothsay Bay and all the way around the corner. Today we're heading this way around this headland in front of us, and then we're turning to port, and Holy Loch is up there. As you can see, it's a gloriously sunny day. And I'm very much looking forward to this passage. I think it should only take us a few hours. And there are other yachts out here today. Let's hope we have a good one.
This is the Rothsay to, I think it's like Whimsey or something, ferry, creating a nice little bow wave there. That's going to send our tea rocking and rolling. Costs £25 for a car and £12 for an additional passenger return, as far as I understand. Could be wrong, that's what I was told. I think it takes half an hour. This very pretty lighthouse is called Toward Point, or Toward Point. It's spelled Toward anyway, which is just on the edge of the island, which we're about to head up. Or it's actually the mainland now, I think. This is us making our way to Holy Loch Marina. Beautiful morning, and you can see the Isle of Arran, sort of mountainous range in the background. We're looking absolutely well, lovely. I'm running out of ways of describing the scenery in the Scottish Lochs. We're just coming into Holy Loch Marina. Just amazing, once again, amazing scenery. Incredible views, incredible hills, you know, straight from the sea up into the mountains. Really excited about getting on our bikes and exploring around here.
I think it's going to be a bit hilly.
What,
I'm a bit worried.
what made you think that? Just moored up in Holy Loch and found this gigantic, I don't know what it is, I wonder if it's a hornet, but this gigantic insect on the deck. It doesn't look very well. I may have stepped on it, but don't know what it is.
That evening, as we went out on deck, we were lucky enough to catch these gannets fishing. We were just stood and we could see them flying around, and if you're careful and you watch them, you see them sort of hover above the water for about 15-20 feet, and then they suddenly just dive. At this point the tide was in, and it's actually quite shallow in the areas where they're diving. We think they can see all the way to the bottom, and they're choosing to do their fishing at the peak of the tide as the fish come in and feed on the sediments that rise as the water comes up. An absolutely spectacular thing to watch.
We're sat in a cafe in Dunoon. We've just walked from Holy Loch, which we were told by the marina office was about 3 miles, but it took us an hour and 3/4 and into the teeth of a sort of gale and relentless rain, horizontal rain, and it was more like 4.5 miles. I'm actually completely wet to the skin, and that is in my homeopathically waterproof coat. But the good news is I'm having a delicious venison burger, which is really nice, and some chips and salad and a nice cup of tea. So, you know, you soon cheer up, don't you?
Hi everyone, I'm not sure what we're going to do today, but we've woken up and it is nowhere near as wet and windy as yesterday. It's quite nice. The scenery is quite nice. But we did spot in the marina some more starfish, and they seem to be huge. They're the biggest ones I've ever seen. So I'm going to go down onto the pontoon and see if I can film some for you, because they fascinate me. I hope they fascinate you too.
We're very excited this morning, and it's to do with food again. You remember that we went to Tarbert, a restaurant in Tarbert, and had smoked mussels. And we'd never had smoked mussels before, either of us, and we thought they were fantastic. And we looked up online where they came from, and it was from a company called Argyll Smokery. So we've sailed into where we are now, the name, Holy Loch. And Argyll Smokery is just 1.5 miles up the road. So we've walked up to the smokery, and we've actually visited it, and it was very exciting. and now we've got some smoked mussels and some delicious smoked salmon for breakfast. So we're having a great morning as it happens. This is Tish coming, well obviously it's Tish coming across the bridge in Benmoore Gardens to start the walk. First thing we're going to see is the giant redwoods. They've got sequoias in the gardens, which we're really excited to have a look at.
Well, we've arrived at Benmoore Botanical Gardens and I've been dying to see these giant redwood trees. They are lining the avenues behind us and I'm really amazed that the bark is so spongy and soft. We're off to explore. So you can see how spongy they really are. You expect it to be quite firm, but it's not, it's really soft. Behind me is Benmoore House, but to me it looks like a real Disney princess castle. Just look at that roof. So here we can see some beautiful mosses. I know our daughter really loves these mosses, going down through this lovely waterfall, and it goes underneath the path that we stood on over to the other side. It's like a real fairy glen in here. We're making our way to the Japanese gardens, so we'll see what we see when we make it there. I'm hoping some more unusual plants.
We've just sort of climbed up to the entrance to the Japanese part of the garden, and in making the climb we've been rewarded with some really amazing views, including you can just about see the loch, if I zoom in a bit, all the way down into the bottom there. And I'll have to zoom back out because there's quite a decent sized hill just ahead of us. Go.
So we're exploring the gardens, and every time we come round a corner there is another amazing view, and I just can't believe that when you look back you've got all these beautiful hillsides going all the way out to the loch and then across to the other side. Absolutely amazing. Loving Benmoore Gardens. Wish we had more time to spend here.
Try again. So this is Picea Glenelly, something like that. And what's interesting is that we can't decide if it has moss growing on it or if the moss is part of the plant. It's all a bit odd, really. We'll have to look at that when we get back. There we are, same again, same tree. Huge amount of moss all over it. Or maybe that's the growth. We're just walking around the gardens, and we've come across this, I don't know if it's a hothouse or a greenhouse, but it looks a major bit of work. Let's have a look. Got a bit of motion sickness. That's just behind us. There we go. Get the hobbit in.
We're going to go and have a look inside. The hobbit? You can't be saying that. We're going to explore inside this structure. Follow Alan in. Hopefully we'll still get you in there. Might be a bit dark. There might be people we might have to wait. It is quite dark. It's the Benmoore Fernery. You got much headroom, Alan? I think this has just been refurbished, hasn't it? Isn't it nice? In a wave. There he is, climbing to the top. Wave at me, Smith. Your fans want to see you. You know, wave. I'm surprised he didn't mention this bit. He's been calling me a hobbit all day. Looks like a hobbit hole. Like a grotto. Ooh, it's watery. Made of rocks. What have you discovered?
It used to be, in the Victorian times, it was a fernery with a boiler, so they could grow the latest fashionable exotic imports at the height of the fern craze. Who knew there was a fern craze?
The fern craze.
Now it's a cool fernery, and they have 3 levels. Upper level is the warmest, and then middle, and then the lower level is sort of a canopy.
And we're in the upper level.
This is the upper level, yeah.
If you turn around, you can see
Which is
behind us it's lower. If I go all the way around, on the wall behind us, there are some ferns growing. I don't know if you can see those. But it's quite nice in here at the moment because it's raining outside. Nice place to take refuge.
Yeah, it's certainly raining now.
I know, we're keeping dry. It's quite nice, isn't it?
Lovely trees, aren't they? Look at that.
Anna likes the trees.
Like there's a tree, it's probably...
Oh, it's
Sure, it's strictly speaking a fern, but it looks like a sort of fern
look
tree.
at that. Nice canopy. We're making our way down. We're climbing up to the top from the fern gardens. Well, we're nearly at the top. We're aiming to this sort of temple looking structure. Oh, I hope the views are worth it. I need to get fit. Alan is powering up, no problem. Well, we've made it to the top of that little piece anyway. And the structure we can see in the video is this one behind me. It's sort of a seating place, somewhere to rest. But as you can see, the full 360 views are really, really good. We've got a bit further to climb. We've arrived at the top of the Himalayan section. You can see Alan just making his way to the shelter, but what a view. I feel like we've really arrived in the Highlands of Scotland.
We're at the top of Chile now, in the gardens, and Tishing's on top of the world. This structure is based on a church, a Chilean church, which uses a specific type of indigenous tree, which is actually now threatened. It's on the endangered list, so they didn't obviously use that. But the design is based on an island just off Chile. This is the pond. That's the only description I've got for you because that's what it's called. There's some beautiful lilies in the pond. And apparently some tadpoles.
There's a lovely sculpture in the middle. 2 dolphins, one looks like a cherub. Lovely area. We've had a fantastic day here. Alan's always after another cup of tea, so I think that's what he wants me to do next.
You're right.
But this is what Alan does a lot of while we're out and about, taking photographs.
Drink tea.
Drink tea, yeah. Let's go find a cafe.